What is up, guys, and welcome back today to another Marvel Contest of Champions video where we're going to be talking all about awakening gems and how to get them. So this video is kind of aimed at newer players on how to, get the awakening gems you need early on, because, if you start playing the game and maybe you get a character like Scarlet Witch or Thor or Black Widow, and you can awaken those characters pretty early, then you are sorted. Like, you are in such a good shape to clear stuff like Act 4 pretty quickly, and also the heroic and maybe even master mode versions of certain events, because those characters are just ridiculously powerful. But also we're going to be talking about the 4 and 5 star awakening gems, and kind of just bringing awareness of the ways that you can get the various awakening gems in the game. So awakening gems are split up into basically the different stars of characters. So you got your 2-star awakening gems, which nobody really needs, but they are occasionally useful when they bring out an exclusive champion, like for example Quake, that you won't be able to dupe from crystals, so maybe you might want to awaken her there, but most of the time they are useless. Then you've got the 3-star awakening gems, which are pretty farmable in the greater and lesser solo crystals. We'll go into that in a little bit more detail. They're really useful at the start of the game. However, when you get to kind of like my level, where I've got every 3-star champion duped, they just become pretty worthless until new champions come out, and then you can awaken them straight away. So that's, I guess, pretty cool. And then you have the 4-star awakening gems, which are insanely valuable, but often very difficult and very long to get. I've got a few of them. I've got the generic one, a mutant one, and a cosmic one, and I'll talk about the ways to get them. So let's start off with talking about the 2-star awakening gems. So the way that you get the 2-star awakening gems is via the lesser solo crystals. The way that you get those crystals is via the solo events. Now these solo events, it's a really good idea to kind of play smart on them, and the 22-hour ones are the ones mainly for newer players that you probably want to focus on. So it alternates between event quest completion, arena, level up, and also just actually I think it's hero use, so it's actually just playing the characters. So in all of these events, it's actually quite easy, apart from maybe event quest completion, to actually hit the higher threshold if you are playing the game. And what you do want to be aiming for in terms of the rewards and milestones is, for most of them, it is quite achievable to hit that 5th milestone. And if you hit that 5th milestone, you're going to get a fully formed greater solo crystal. A lot of the lesser solo crystals do come from kind of the shorter events, but to be honest, the lesser solo crystals aren't really ones you need to focus on for the majority of players. So this kind of also I guess kind of morphs into the 3-star awakening gem farming, that you want to try and make the 5th cutoff for everyone, as that is going to give you a fully formed crystal and a ton of actually really cool rewards as well. The 4-star signature stone is really valuable. Tier 3 class catalyst fragments, again, also very valuable when you are starting the game, and the gold crystal is a little bit of a perk there. In regards to rank rewards, to get additional crystals, you generally want to be looking trying to score in the top 40%, I guess. My general rule of thumb is, if I want to be in the top 20%, whatever the highest cutoff is, I will do double that, and then generally you either get in the top 20 or 10%, but that really depends on how many people are farming the event and how many people are actively playing the game at that time, and what's going on. There are a lot of factors to making the ranked reward cutoffs, but generally, as a rule of thumb, if you want to be in the top 20%, just do double what the 5th milestone is. That's a pretty good benchmark, and it is quite rewarding in terms of stuff. If you do get in the top 20%, you can get 2 greater solo crystals, 2 lesser ones, and also another 4-star signature stone crystal. So if you are at that level where you are desperate to dupe your Scarlet Witch or Thor or Black Widow or another really awesome champion, this is something that you do want to be actively grinding and pursuing. So it's a really great idea. So another way to get 3-star awakening gems, which we're just going to quickly cover, is every 2 or 3 months now, an event quest comes round, either called, it's usually an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tie-in. So at the moment we have Chloe's Warriors of Awesomeness, and if you can complete the 3rd chapter for that, let's go to the 3rd chapter, you'll get 2 generic 3-star awakening gems, which are really good, and with a little bit of skill, this chapter is fairly easy to do. You just kind of need like a really strong champion and then also to play well. Not super amounts of difficulty in comparison to Chapter 4, so I think that's pretty achievable for most people who have maybe like a bit of a starting roster to do, providing that you can parry and evade well and also know the abilities that the opponents have and how to like roughly play around them. So that's how you get your 3-star Awakening Gems. It's mainly via the Greater Solo Crystals, so you want to make sure you're doing those daily events and also looking for stuff like Chloe's that comes up. Another thing that you can do also is the Road to the Labyrinth Chapter 3, which again, exactly the same as Chloe's, will give you 2 3-star Awakening Gems. It's a little bit difficult, it's always active, and in my opinion, it's a little bit more difficult than events like Chloe's, Mingnar's, and Coulson's. However, it is another way that you can get 3-star Awakening Gems as well, so just something to be aware of. But now, guys, I guess what we want to talk about is the 4-star Awakening Gems and the various ways to get those. So while we're here on the events page as well, whenever an event like Chloe's comes up, if you can 100% the event and get the full exploration, then you can get a 4-star Awakening Gem Crystal. These are a little bit niggly. So out of in the Awakening Gem Crystals, you get either it's like 1 of 6 Awakening Gems, dependent on the class. So you might get something really good for a champion that you want, or you might get something not so great. Like for example, when I completed this event, I got a Cosmic Awakening Gem, which really wasn't what I wanted. I wanted a skill or tech one, either for my Black Widow or Star-Lord. So that kind of sucked. However, you know, if you do want to farm Awakening Gems, you need to make sure that you are fully exploring those events. Road to the Labyrinth as well, again a little bit more trickier than Chloe's, but that is a way to get a 4-star random Awakening Gem. Something I'm going to be working on in the upcoming weeks. And the next thing, of course, which is a little bit, well, it's more than a little bit of a grind. It's a really huge grind. So if we go over to the story quest and look at Chapter 4, for fully exploring Chapter 4, which will take you a very long time. It took me like a good 48 hours of gameplay with a dupe Scarlet Witch, so that was doing it quite quickly. But you get the generic 4-star Awakening Gem that you can use on any character in the game. So I'm being very conservative with mine and holding off till I get a champion, like a new champion comes out that is amazing duped, and then maybe like grinding for that champion in arena, duping it, and then I can become God mode. So yeah, I'm being really conservative on that one, but that is a way, maybe if you're kind of like at that level where you feel like you need like a Scarlet Witch or a duped 4 or even a Black Widow like really desperately to improve your gameplay, that is a way to, you know, definitively awaken the champion. So that's something that you can do, and if you haven't pulled any of those champions for 4-star crystals, you just got to keep grinding and doing that kind of stuff. I think the final thing that is worth mentioning is the Awakening bundles that come up every 2 or 3 months. So every 2 or 3 months, again, very similar to the event quest in the fact that you'll get a crystal, well, a crystal with, you know, one of the 6 random gems is, yeah, it's about like every 2 months or so on the store, a bundle comes up having one of those crystals and also a couple of generic 3-star Awakening gems, and buying that bundle is potentially a way to get exactly the gem that you want. Again, that is laying down a bit of money on the game, but in terms of like paying money for a solid amount of progression, potentially it's a little bit of a gamble. It could be really worthwhile because it's what was the bundle? It's usually about 23 quid or $30, so it is a little bit of money to chuck on the game. However, if you do pull like that Mystic Awakening gem and awaken a Scarlet Witch or skill and do Black Widow, Cosmic, and do 4 or Tech and Star-Lord, then, you know, that is going to improve your gameplay and the stuff that you can do just so much. So it's arguably worth it, depending on, you know, your kind of stance and philosophy on spending money on mobile video games, but it is something that I'm definitely sucking into every time. And then finally, we do have the 5-star Awakening gem, which we might as well mention. So that is actually in the Labyrinth of Legends, and I can't even look inspect the rewards because I haven't completed the road to the labyrinth. But I believe the 5-star awakening gem is the reward for 100% completing the Labyrinth of Legends, or maybe doing it for the first time. I'm pretty sure it's the 100% reward, so it's a really, really big and intimidating reward. And probably the best thing to use that on is the Ultron Prime that you get from 100% completing the Labyrinth of Legends, because I believe that is the only way in the game that you can awaken the champion, whereas pretty much all other champions can be, you know, pulled from crystals, or the featured ones you can dupe the more exclusive champions that way. So that's probably like the best thing to spend it on, because that's the only way you're going to dupe it. However, like, yeah, to do the Labyrinth of Legends, from a lot of the strategies and tactics I've seen, you need two things. You need a dupe Star-Lord that is either 550 or rank 4 level 55, a 5-star dupe, and you need a lot of money. That is like the only way that you can clear the Labyrinth of Legends. So it's a little bit of a pain at the moment, but you know, you can kind of understand why Kabam have made this piece of content. If there are people that are willing to like shell out that much money to be like get all these like champions and the bragging rights for completing Labyrinth of Legends, like literally it takes like thousands of dollars if you want to fully complete it, then you know, why not like give them some sort of pigeonhole where they can spend all of their money. But also, from a consumer perspective, it kind of sucks that there is this really difficult piece of content that you have to spend so much money on to complete. So, swings and roundabouts, boys, swings and roundabouts. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this insight and guide on how to farm awakening gems in Marvel Contest to Champions. If you're looking for the 2 or 3-star ones, again, do the daily events. 4-star ones, all the stuff we've covered, and 5-star ones, you better get that wallet out, man, because you're gonna have a long grind for that. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, feel free to leave a thumbs up. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel and would like to see more awesome Marvel Contest of Champions and iOS gaming content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, guys, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.